Welcome guys. I get this question a lot. How can I spot enemies very quickly? Well, in this video, I will show you how you can spot your enemies much better and also improve your spotting skills. So there are 3 methods on how to spot your enemies. First one is physically seeing them or spotting the enemy like this. Second one is using your sound sense or footsteps knowledge to know and understand your opponent's exact location. Third one is using game sense to know where the enemies will be. Starting with the first one, spotting enemies can sometimes be difficult, especially when you need to identify the enemy from the background to the foreground. So here are a few tips that can help you. First, go to your graphic settings and increase the brightness to 150%. By increasing it to 150%, you're separating your enemy from the background, example like this. This gives your game some contrast and brightness, so you can better spot the players. And next tip is to increase your phone's brightness as much as possible. Of course, the high brightness can hurt your eyes, but this is my secret, as it will play a critical role in spotting enemies. Higher brightness means the enemy will appear darker, making it easier to identify one. Low brightness can make it too dark to spot players, so I'd suggest at least playing at medium brightness level. And the next important thing is, how far should you hold your screen from your face? The phone's screen shouldn't be too close to your eyes or too far. So on average, I would say 15 centimeters is a pretty good distance, not too close nor too far. But if you got an iPad, that's totally different scenario, so let's move on to the graphics settings. As every professional player says, go with the lowest graphics quality and the highest frame rate that your device has to offer to get the best experience. Now in the graphics styles, classic, colorful and soft, these 3 are the best. When it comes to spotting players, other options can make it really hard to spot your opponents. So once you're done with these, now let's talk about where to look for enemies and how to look for them. So where to look for enemies? Well, the basic method is to look for any dark subjects or dark moving spots. Because your enemies will most likely appear darker in your screen, especially when they are far. Anyway, first you need to understand the basics for looking. Most of the time you will be looking at the center area of the screen as shown here. Because the edges will most likely get blocked by your fingers or claw. So this is the only area where you can focus, but it doesn't mean you will be able to look at this entire area at the same time. You can only remain focused on particular area. For example, when you scope in, you will be focusing on the center of your screen. And by any chance, if there is an enemy outside of your scope area, you will most likely won't even notice them. This is also known as tunnel vision. But what I'm trying to say is, suppose you're looking at the left side of your screen, then you will lose the focus on the other side, because the human eyes are designed to remain focused on one thing at a time. And that focus area is very small. So this is why you need to do scans. When you're looking at hills or mountains, you usually do a horizontal scan like this. You need to apply this same scanning method everywhere. Let me show you some examples. Whenever I look at group of houses or compounds like these, I usually first scan the broken walls and check if there is any vehicles are parked, and then I move on to the houses by focus scanning the windows. But you don't need to use the same exact method, you can create your own style of scanning. And an open field like these, I usually take a quick glance at everything, and then I focus scan at trees, rocks and some other structure, because there's where you usually find enemies hiding, because nobody will stand in the middle of an open field. So where to look for enemies? Well, this totally depends on your situation. You always need to keep looking in every possible direction. But sometimes you need to focus on specific direction. For example, let's say you got to the next circle earlier than everyone, or you're already in this kind of place. So you need to focus on this area, especially the outside of the circle, because most players who are outside of the zone will have to enter into the safe zone, so there is a higher chance that people will come from this side than the other side. And if you fail to visually spot your enemy, then your next choice is sound. Using sound to locate enemy is a really important skill to master. Let me show you an example here. So this player definitely spotted me here, but I wasn't paying attention to this area as I was focusing on something else. Once this player has started firing, I immediately noticed him and quickly fired back. I was able to instantly react because of the sound as well as the weapon flash. I'm pretty sure almost every one of you have earphones or headphones that support stereo sound, giving you 360 surround sound experience like this. You can easily tell which direction you're getting shot, but knowing exactly which angle and where you need to look and spot is something you will learn over time. And understanding footstep sounds is a really good skill. You should be able to know how far your enemy by hearing to their footsteps. And sometimes just by hearing footsteps you can mentally imagine where they would be, which will make this easier. And finally, let's talk about using your game sense to guess where your enemies will appear. Game sense is something that everyone has, but everyone uses it differently. Let me show how I use my game sense. If I spot someone going into a house, I know that player will go upstairs because it's very obvious that higher floor gives more safe feeling. I don't know why, but most players will go upstairs. So I can predict the enemy's move in a house very easily and shoot through these windows like this. And another example where I'm gonna guess their next move. As you can see, this car is moving while I was healing, so after I'm done healing I couldn't find where they have gone. And if I open map and guess where they would have gone, there is only two ways to go to safe zone. They either go from this side like this, or they have to go from my side. If they did, I would have easily spotted them, so I think they went in this route, and they most likely will make a stop at these houses to heal up. So I'm gonna head towards that area, while also looking at this mountain, because in case, if they did climb up the hill I would have spotted them now. However, I saw the same car at my predicted location, so this is how you can guess your opponent's move, especially when they are moving into the safe zone. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe for more upcoming videos like this. See you guys in the next one. Enjoy my bot gameplay.
I'ma buy another round. Get low, drop it down to the ground. Oh yeah, wow, shorty make it